Hello everybody. In today's video I'm going to show you how you can install this Thermalright heatsink to your Bitaxe 800-801 series Bitcoin miner. So let's get into what tools you're going to need. Well, you're going to need a 2mm Allen wrench. You're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver, small tip and big tip. You're going to need some thermal compound. MX6 is what we use here. Some soldering flux. A desoldering tool will help. It'll make your job easier. Obviously, you're going to need some desolder wick. And not to forget, we're also going to need a thermal pad for the 800-801 series. 1mm thick. Solder. We use lead-free solder here, but any solder will do. Soldering iron with a large chip will actually be will help you out. So let's get started. Well, let's take this apart, and we're gonna have to remove the fan and the heatsink. So we're going to take this off. We're going to put the fan, because we're going to use that later. Okay, next you're going to see there's 5 screws. So we're going to take these off. So now I've already taken this apart off and on, but there will also be some thermal pad, as you can tell from here, which would be across here. So I've already cleaned this up just to demonstrate about doing this. So, and now we're just going to do some cleaning real quick. So, we got this cleaned up. We have to now remove this fan connector, and we're going to move it to the back. I'm going to show you how to do that with just a simple soldering iron, and we have some flux and a desoldering tool. One thing to remember though is this orientation has to be exact for these pins on this side. So what I did was basically, if it's like this right now, we're going to flip it because we want that pin with this pin match. So we know we're going to have to install it like this on this side. So let's get that done. One of the tricks is to just remove the plastic white piece from the pins, which then you should be able to just work at one pin at a time. Just heating it up so the pins kind of fall down, so I can make this flush. And then I'm going to want to use solder wick again. over the top. We're just trying to remove as much of this solder as I can. Okay, so now, we're gonna have to clean the holes. Alright, once you got your holes all cleaned up, again, we're going to clean all this up, front and back. Let's get all that flux off. If you haven't told, Q-tips are my friend. Q-tips and alcohol. Okay, so was on the front, now we're going to install it on the back. If you remember, the orientation was like this. So we need to move it to like this. Okay, so I'm going to solder this real quick. All right, now that that's all soldered up, let's work on the heatsink. So within that kit, you get these brackets, and then we all know what this is. We're going to install this now on this. And I want to show you how you do that. So first, in your brackets, the curved sides is going to go in. So I'm going to do this real quick, and we'll get these installed. All right. So we're going to put some thermal paste and then thermal pads, and then we'll mount to the actual heat sink. So I'm using 1mm Arctic thermal pad. We'll add, remember, just a pea size. Now I found in the kit these little spacers. We're going to put those on here. I'll move this over. Line up as best you can. And then we're going to flip it. And then we'll install it like so. And then with your card player, so we're going to put it in this stand. And we're going to hide all the cabling on the bottom. So in your kit, we have a nice little Y splitter, small, which we'll install now.